You ever notice how you don't notice certain things happening at the moment they are happening? You know, like how tall you're getting, or how your hair is growing, or even how you're getting older and your features are changing? It's often only when you look back at a picture that you actually notice these changes. Well, this phenomena is happening in Canada right now with regard to the balance between the Anglophone and the Francophone communities. From the moment that the British enacted the Constitution, officially declaring Canada as a sovereign nation in 1867, this country has always been aware of the minority Francophone presence, which has no doubt been a great part of this country's development. When one thinks about it realistically and intellectually, the French addition, to some degree, has been a great influence throughout the years. And despite the Francophones being a very small minority, numbers-wise, most Canadians believe in the duality of this country and have wholeheartedly accepted that duality as a positive thing. Despite the fact that the Francophone footprint in Canada has been quite small, the Anglophones, nonetheless, went through the various phases to help them feel welcome. Firstly, accepting that it was okay to force the manufacturers to label all products with both French and English. Despite the realization that this was an extra cost, the Anglophone majority acknowledged that this was an acceptable trade-off for this noble cause. It was the right thing to do, and the Anglophone majority wanted to show the Francophone minority that they were accepted as part of us, part of this great country. We were a team. The next thing after the French labeling was the Official Languages Act, the OLA, when Trudeau said, "This statute will provide equality
of the two languages in all areas where the citizens of Canada have to communicate with the government, with Parliament."
This cleverly worded proclamation basically said that the government and the Parliament would extend its services to both languages, the English and the French, in Canada. This was yet another gesture that was accepted by the Anglophone majority in the name of demonstrating to the Francophone minority that they were accepted and welcome, and we're all on this journey as a team, together. From that point forward, and for many years onward, the minority Francophone presence served as a great balancing act in the matter of how Canada developed as a country. Only one small problem. It seems that some were accepting all of this nationalism in one way, while others were accepting all of this nationalism in yet another completely different way altogether. Taking a moment now to look at the proverbial after-the-fact photograph, we clearly see that throughout the many years of Canada's development, one side was marching to the beat of a behind-the-scenes slow and incessant struggle for ultimate control, while the other side was offering up deeds of kindness and acceptance to show that there was a move towards fairness, equality, and an attempt to bring all Canadians together as a team. This difference was highlighted when the FLQ decided to kill people in the name of Quebec independence, and then again when René Lévesque called for the first referendum to separate Quebec from the rest of Canada. At this point, Canadians seemed to take stock in the idea that maybe the actual reality was not what it seems. Maybe the reality was staring us in the face the whole time. It was around this point in history that many started to notice that there really was two different, very distinct peoples and two very distinct ways of looking at the development of this country over the past several years. There indeed had been a parallel two-tiered storyline in the making.
You know, we believe in diversity. Diversity of identity. And language is part of that identity and diversity. And I really believe in that. The whole continent is English. You know, we're different. We want to stay different. In North America, why not?
As a country?
Yeah. Yes.
Not as part of
Very
Canada?
enthusiastic about this.
Not as part of Canada?
No.
You want out?
Yes.
This realization should have been the wake-up call for the Anglophones, being confronted with strong-arm tactics and a people that seem to be saying, "Hey, we don't care how much you show us we are part of this team, and we don't care if you bend over backwards pressuring large corporations into providing French and all packaging. What we Francophones believe in is what we deserve, our own country, and that's what we ultimately want and what we are moving towards." Of course, the reality of such a way of thinking would either entail that the Francophones have have the province of Quebec as their own country, or, as another alternative, they would just simply take the whole of Canada and rule over it.
Was in Montreal. Be master in your own house, he told the Quebecois, but let that house be all of Canada.
The eldest son of former Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau was sounding a bit like his father today. 18-year-old Justin Trudeau is now a student at a community college in Montreal. It's one of many Quebec colleges gearing up for a referendum next week on the question of Quebec's place in Canada. Justin's position is clear.
Arguing the federal case at Collège Jean Brébeuf today was the son of its most famous alumnus.
Le Canada ne chie pas sur le Québec.
The simple fact is they are not interested in being on the same level or equality, or for that matter, obviously not interested in the idea of answering to and or being subservient to the Anglophone majority. This is perhaps where the Anglophones should have just accepted that wake-up call for what it was, a matter of truth and reality. Yes, this is the point where the Anglophones should have realized what we see happening today, that no matter how much is offered and how close we believe we are headed towards equality, none of it will ever be enough for the Francophones. It will never give the Francophones what they ultimately and truly want, and that is a country within which they can be the masters of their own destiny, a place where they can decide for themselves what the journey will be and down what path that journey will take. That is what they want. There's no doubt about it. The only unanswered question at this point is whether they will accomplish this goal at the helm of their own newly minted Nation de Quebec, the former province of Quebec, or as the dominant new leaders of the newly reconquered Canada, along with all the powers of the federal system to go with it. This is where the majority Anglophone side of this historical moment must decide whether it is prudent to keep on dreaming that the French and Quebec really want to be part of a united Canada, or finally accept the truth that lays clearly before them that no matter what, the French will never be happy until they are the ones that determine their own cultural fate. Once the Anglophone realize and accept the fact that no matter what they offer the Francophones, short of an all-out French Canada, which is totally unacceptable, there is nothing that will make this union work. That being said, the next decision will be whether we want to forfeit the province of Quebec or allow the Frenchification of Canada to continue to the point where the Anglophones are second class, and that seems an easy decision. Thus, the answer seems clear. The future steps seem predefined. If Canada is to remain a British-English colony and the Francophones are to reach the ultimate goal, which they have made very clear is the absolute must to them, then what must be done just must be done. In the name of saving the rest of Canada, the province of Quebec must be detached and handed over to the French. As pointed out at the beginning of this rant, the Anglophones tried being fair and tried to include a French presence in Canada, but at every turn the French wanted more and more. And rather than wanting French and English to be together, it always seemed to be French first, French dominant, and or French only. Therefore, if the Anglophones continue to pretend this incessant push towards Frenchification does not exist, they risk losing more than just a province. They risk becoming subservient to the French rule in all of Canada. It's already starting to happen in Ontario with French-only hospitals and clinics, and almost all jobs going to only those who know French. The best option right now would be to let the French have the province of Quebec to do with as they please. The English can then just live in peace in the rest of Canada. We must learn from every example the French have shown us to this point. They have proven to us that they want nothing to do with bilingualism or Anglophones. So do the math and then decide.